Okay, we are recording and we are live streaming on Facebook. So I am so excited for today's talk. All right, here we go. I think we're all set up now. So, hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Marina Buksov, and I call myself a holistic pharmacist because as a pharmacist, I see the limitations about pharmaceuticals and drugs as our only medicine of choice. And so I believe in freedom of choices, and I believe that we can really build a strong foundation of health that can actually decrease our need and our reliance on medications that are prescribed. So today I wanted to live stream about a very, very important topic, which is water, right? So what is the best water that you can bring into your home and make sure that the basis and the foundation of all of life, right, is really oxygen and water first and food second or third on that list. So today I have with me Dr. Sarah Townley, who is another holistic pharmacist who is now completely gone the other way from de-prescribing to now earning a full-time income with her coaching and other services. And I have a full in-depth podcast where she'll tell you all about her journey, and that's coming out soon. But today we really wanted to come on live and talk about one of her latest passion projects. So Dr. Sarah, you are my role model and hero as always. Big family, lots of children, lots of responsibilities. And so talk to us today about maybe a little bit of an introduction about yourself and then the topic of the day.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks so much for inviting me. I just want to acknowledge you, Marina, for making this connection with me. I'm really grateful for it. I'm really grateful to know about you and what you do in the world. And it's really fun to get to connect with you first, and then also with your audience, who probably shares a lot of the same values as I have. And you can never have enough connections in that way. So thank you. So today I was invited to talk about my new business, which is around bringing the best quality water that you can into your home. And I love the way that you just introduce the topic, because I think so many of us forget about air and water. Like we're focused on all these things like fitness and food, and maybe even cleaning up our healthcare or our products like our shampoo and conditioner and skincare and things like that. That for a lot of people haven't even gotten to that point, but we often forget about the most basic things. And I really marvel. I try every day to marvel at how perfectly designed the earth and our natural habitat is to support health. So I try to get some direct sun into my eyes and on my skin, get good sleep, get great water, move my body. And when we do these things, we often feel better, right? So I'll just tell you a little bit about where I'm at and where I came from. So I went to school at University of Florida for pharmacy a long time ago. And I met my husband there. We fast forward 20 years, have 7 kids, and live in Montana. We love raising our kids here. We'll probably be relocating to northern Wyoming here pretty soon, but it's pretty much the same location. And I guess my husband works in hospital pharmacy, and I left my pharmacy practice about 3 years ago. I keep having to reassess because time passes so quickly. Because I'm having fun, right? Like time does fly when you're having fun. I'm having fun doing what I do now, and I'm very grateful for what I get to do. I am a coach, a health coach, and my pharmacy background has been very important for establishing and positioning myself in the market as an expert, to offer something that most people are never offered. And most people who find me seek me out because they want what our community is offering, which is healing. People want to heal, and in their gut, they know that it's possible. But when I actually say that to them, it's possible. Like I believe with so much certainty and conviction that your body can heal from this. Specifically, type 2 diabetes is who I work with. They just are so relieved, and they borrow my confidence, and I coach them to creating their results, which then builds their own capability and confidence. And it is a really fun job. It's a miracle. Like we literally create miracles together. We get off medications. We heal not just insulin resistance, but a whole host of other problems that are related. And I remember at the end of my practice, practicing AM care in a clinic, a primary care clinic, thinking when I would look at these long lists of medical diagnoses, like, what if this person really just has one problem? And it's manifesting as all these other things that we label differently. Because when a person does get back to supporting their body the way it's naturally designed to thrive, so many things, chronic things, get better. And I'm just really happy with what I get to do now. So thanks for letting me share that with you all.
Yeah, thank you. It's always so fun to chat with you. And it does, time does fly when we are chatting. So I love your passion for this. I love the idea of borrowing your coach's belief just to strengthen your own resolve and confidence, because the more I do this work, the more I uncover how important it is to have those subconscious beliefs and internal programming all rewired so that you can see different results.
Yeah, we create from what we believe. And if we're unconscious to what we believe, we're creating results that we often don't intend to create. So and I mean, like, I think of most of the clients that I work with, that they're just badass. Like, they get after it and they create incredible results very quickly. But there are many pivotal moments early on where they are in shame, they're in doubt, they're in fear, and I just call it mind drama. And I like pull them out of it. Like, I just pull them out of it, shake them off, set them down, and then they just take more action. And if they can stay in consistent action, results are pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned, there's a lot of symptoms that may seem unrelated, but there is one main underlying thread usually, or pattern that we can see. And same thing about naming all of these different things that we were just talking about, right? The subconscious, the belief system, the internal, all of that stuff. There's just different words for the same stuff, right? The energy, the vibration with which you attract those results, right? And set on trajectories. So water, right, is something that our body needs, like physiologically and biologically. We are 70% water. The earth is 70% water. So there's some agreeable symmetry there. And so we need to make sure that not only are we wiring our minds and programming our internal wiring the right way, the way that we would like to see a shift towards. And we are also treating our body, because we live in a physical 3D world, feeding our body the right things, right? So we talked about how your environment with the air, the quality of the air, lack of pollution, hopefully, and detoxifying everything from social to mental to, physically what's around you, inspecting your house for mold, all of that stuff. And then water, right? So how do we get good quality, clean water nowadays? Do we trust the filtration devices out there or the municipal water systems? What is your takeaway from your research and your work?
Yeah. So I would not trust the municipal water treatment facilities to provide the highest quality water. And I do want to just take a second to say, like, it is an amazing thing that in where we live, most of us in the Western world have clean drinking water. Like, thank you, God, that we have access without even really needing to put much effort into it, to clean drinking water. But there's still so much room for improvement. And I just would like to say I'm grateful, but we can do better. And there are options to create that for yourself if you become aware of them. If you were to just look at your local water treatment reports, there's a very wonderful database that you can go to that, and I actually need to go get the link and I can share it with you later, but it will tell you the quality of water that you have in your local area. And it's shocking how many things are in your water that you don't hear about, you don't know about. And then of course, as pharmacists, we're aware that there's all kinds of pharmaceuticals and things in our water. So I'm talking about just the most basic cleanliness, but the water that I'm going to introduce you to today, if you haven't heard of it before, is called Kangen water. And it is going to far beyond exceed your expectations, because there's some qualities and characteristics of this water that will blow your mind. And it is scientifically tried and true. And I can show you hundreds of studies that have investigated the benefits of this specific kind of water. And so if you want, I can actually get kind of a little bit nerdy with you and talk about those details.
Yeah, we love
Okay.
nerdy. Let's go.
Would you like me to share some slides that might help a little bit with some of the concepts that I might introduce? If that would be
Yes.
supportive, I can do that.
Yes, I would
Okay.
absolutely do that. So let me just enable that for you. And while you're getting
Okay.
situated with the slides, let's just quickly run through what not to do with your water. So let's just say, let's call out some plastic, right?
Yes.
People think,
Mhm.
okay, let me go to the store and buy spring water because it sounds so nice. You're getting water from a spring, and let me get some bottled water that's been filtered. And it sounds like a good idea. And so there's a lot of problems, ecological, economical, and
Yeah.
also with the plastic itself that are
The
issues.
plastic itself, yes. Absolutely. In fact, if you were to just test like any kind of bottled water that you can get access to, you're going to find that it has some really unsavory properties. There's going to be actual, sometimes visible plastic in the water. That's how poor the standard is for removing plastics from the water. And and so there is plastic that you're putting into your body through the water. And if you've left it, and I've been guilty of this too, is to leave it in my car, right? Because that's where it's convenient to have bottled water. In the warmer months, you're going to have an even faster leaching process from the plastic into the water. And you're basically just drinking a lot of plastic. Um, yeah, and so there are some better ways to transport water for yourself. And if you have high quality water, you're going to want to drink it all the time. And of course, that would naturally invite you to have some ways to transport it with you. And the machine that I'll show you, you can actually bring it. You can pack it and bring it with you on vacation if you want to. And by the time you have a machine like this, you're going to be a water snob. You'll probably want to.
Yeah, I have to say I'm excited to learn from you because I have not heard too much about this machine. I've heard some people talking about it, but I haven't done the research and the details. And I myself have a countertop water filter. I use the Borax, and I could really, really taste the difference between when I drink my water at home or I carry around my stainless steel water bottle with that filled and I brew my teas with that water versus drinking tap water or even bottled water when I, quote unquote, have no other choice, or it just happens that this is the only water I have available.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, can you see this?
Yes, we see it. So just if you want to make
Okay.
it full screen.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that to take. Let's see. Okay, here we go. All
Perfect.
right, you already mentioned that we are mostly water. Most of us know this, but it's still a great place to remind ourselves. And 60% is actually on the lower end. Maybe if you're 80 years old, you're 60%, but like babies are more than 80% water. And so just to touch back to how important it is that what we put in, right, is like basically what we're going to be. And so we want to put in high quality things so that we are composed of what's high quality. Okay, so this is just a list of some of the attributes I'm going to discuss with you today. This machine I'm standing behind is the machine that I will be referring to. And the product is called a Leveluk K8. It's made by a company called Enagic. And the type of water that it produces is called Kangen water. In fact, there's a couple slides back. This is just to give people a good idea. This is a huge company. It's actually very well established in the Eastern world, and it's making its way across Europe and now into the United States. But there are probably way more than 42 locations since this slide was made. But the name of the company is Enagic, and it's based out of Japan. Half of the hospitals in Japan have this water as a therapeutic benefit to their patients. Okay, so these qualities include, and I won't get too like detailed, but I love, of course, all of us that are probably in the world of health and science love the details. But I'm going to give you just a kind of an overview of what makes this water so special. First, it's microclustered, so it's actually structurally broken apart through the process of leaving your tap into the machine. And it's going to travel down one side and up the other across 8 titanium plates. And in the process, it gets the molecules inside the water get broken apart and reassembled. And that's why we say it's microclustered. The actual chemical structure is of the water molecules is rearranged, and this is ideal for optimal hydration. The second is a very exciting, probably my favorite quality about Kangen water is that it is hydrogen rich. So it has free hydrogen ions that are, it's rich in free hydrogen ions that are inside of the water as it comes out of the machine. And so this creates like a powerful antioxidant property. And you can measure it with a machine, and it's the richest type of water you can buy. There are probably many people who are listening to this, or maybe you've heard of it, Marina, that people talking about hydrogen-rich water. And of course, you've heard of people talking about alkalinized water, but the hydrogen-rich water has become, like in the world that I move in, which is, you know, like reversing insulin resistance, fasting longevity. A lot of the thought leaders and influencers out there are talking about hydrogen-rich water and even promoting products for this, because there is so much research around the benefits, the health benefits of hydrogen-rich water, that it's very compelling. And most people who are influencers themselves drink hydrogen-rich water. The third property is that this is alkalinized, and we have probably been marketed. In fact, I was just in LA walking on Hermosa Beach, and there was a huge booth of someone just handing out free bottles of alkalinized water. Well, it's actually alkalized. So the water that is going to be bottled up in plastic and marketed as alkaline has been alkalized, which means that there have been things added, like sodium bicarb and things added to the water to make it a more alkaline pH. That is not what the Kangen water machine does. The Kangen water machine uses the minerals that are already present to electrically alkalinize the water. So there's no added chemicals that your body then has to filter and eliminate in order to receive the alkaline pH water. And as we go, you know, on to the next slide, I'll show you a little bit more about what I mean about alkalinized and why that is good for your body. And then, of course, most of us are wanting filtered water. We want clean water, and the Kangen water machine does remove chlorine and a lot of impurities like rust. It doesn't remove fluoride. So if you wanted to have ultra clean, and a lot of people who own Kangen water machines, they'll have pre-filters. So the pre-filter will run, your tap water will run through the pre-filter. It will remove things like fluorine. And then it'll run it through your K8 and, you know, microcluster it, add the hydrogen, alkalinize it, and then remove anything else that remains. Okay, do you have any questions so far?
No, I was reading about the hype with the hydrogen-rich water, and some people were talking about just diluting regular hydrogen peroxide, which I don't recommend you do because that's usually used topically and also in plastic bottles. But there are some supplements out there, like Dr. Mercola has a product with the hydrogen that you add, and it creates like this fizzy drink, but then you're supposed to drink it right away. So yeah, this is really, really fascinating.
Yeah, so what's fun for us as scientists is that we really like data, we like research, we like to look at studies, and there are hundreds and hundreds of studies, and I'll show you kind of a little glimpse of that in a minute. Okay, so the hydrogen-rich property, my favorite for sure. What's happening when we age is something called oxidative stress. And you may not have heard of this, but it's a lot like resting. It's the combination of oxygen with the tissues within the body. And I've heard of people calling it like a slow cook. For example, I think specifically Dr. Mark Hyman had a guest on one time. They were referring to oxidative stress like getting very slowly cooked from the inside, which doesn't sound good. But this is happening even faster when there are a lot of free radicals that come from all of the toxins and the process of metabolism, especially when we don't eat clean. We make more free radicals. These damage our tissues and cause even further oxidative stress that accelerates the aging process. And none of us want that. I mean, we can all be pretty much unanimous in that we do not want to age or stress our body any more than is necessary. Now, how do you combat that? Well, we have this, concept of antioxidants, and many of us are going out of our way to incorporate antioxidants into our diet, such as green tea and fresh berries, right? But I want to invite you to consider that your water could actually do this job so much better. Kangen water is so hydrogen rich that 1 glass of it has the antioxidant power of 1 kilogram of blueberries or 16 cups of green tea. You can actually measure it with a machine that will tell you how much hydrogen is in the water, and there is no other machine that will make the water as rich in hydrogen as the Kangen machine. And so when you know that, it just feels so good to have this ability to correct and support your body in minimizing that stress that happens just with the daily living, and then anything else that could be going on, that you're unaware of that would be stressing your body and accelerating aging. And then on top of it, Kangen water will stimulate your own natural antioxidant production by up to 40%. Like glutathione is probably something most of us have heard of before. We actually will make more glutathione with Kangen water in our body.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, I just want to say, let's normalize the process of aging, right? Like nobody has escaped it thus far that I know of. So it is
Right.
normal that we have oxygen that feed our cells, but then by that same mechanism with the electron transport chain in our mitochondria, we're also missing some oxygen, or we're introducing some damage with that oxygen and some pro-inflammatory processes, which is what oxidation means. So too much of a good thing can be bad, and it's just a normal byproduct of living. So while we can't escape it, we can slow it down, which is what this water is doing.
Yep. Yeah, and that whole inflammation thing drives disease, drives insulin resistance, which is what I specifically work in. And as we age, we just are more prone, right, to damage and disrepair and disease. And so anything we can do to combat that as we age is going to be very compelling. Okay, so then let's talk real quick about the alkaline property of Kangen water. Now, what's really amazing that I haven't even mentioned yet is that you can actually use this machine to create so many different types of water. In summary, it'll be on the next slide, but you can create pH of 2.5 with the Kangen machine all the way up to a pH of 13. And they all have their own uses. And so you can actually use the different, like really acidic or basic waters that come out of the machine to cleanse your fruits and vegetables, to clean your skin. So these are accessory sort of extra awesome things that this machine will do, even though we're not really getting into it today, all the many uses for the water that you can make with your Kangen machine. We're really talking about Kangen water, which is the more alkaline water. And as we know, our pH is slightly alkaline in our bodies. And when we bombard our bodies with all the acidic things in our environment, our food, our air, our water, even if you were to get some high quality, like fancy non-alkaline, right, but regular bottled waters, or even in the glass, you're going to find most of it is very acidic. And so our bodies are just inundated with a lot of acidic products, and this makes it hard for the body to keep its natural alkaline pH. When we do keep the pH alkaline, we do better. We heal a lot faster. We can move things in and out of the cell better. We can eliminate waste better. It's just ideal. Obviously, when you look at the pH of the blood, it's ideal for us to remain alkaline, and we can support that by giving ourselves alkaline water. Any questions about that?
Nothing in the chat. So yeah, just to add that we are talking about the blood pH, which is creating its own buffers,
Right.
for the things that are coming into it. So it ends up using a lot of minerals and resources if it needs to buffer too much. but different organs in our system, in our body, they operate best at other pHs. So what we're really talking about is the blood, which is the main kind of pathway that everything circulates through.
Right. I thank you for that clarification. Yeah. Of course, we want acidic environment in our stomach, and a lot of people are using all kinds of products to help with their heartburn, and that's alkalinizing the contents of their stomach, and that causes malabsorption, all kinds of downstream problems. Kangen water does not alter the pH of your stomach, and so that's one really nice thing. Unfortunately, alkaline water that you buy from the store in bottles, those products contain things that will alkalinize the content of your stomach.
Yeah, I always found that distinction fascinating because when you look at the foods that are alkalizing to your body, some of them are acidic, right? Like lemons are actually alkalizing. So it's because our body has its own feedback mechanisms and those buffer systems that I just mentioned, that it uses whatever nutrients you give it to make the appropriate pH in the blood and the other organs. So really like a diet full of plant-based foods is the optimal alkalizing diet.
Yes. Yeah, because those meat products, those animal products are going to have more acidic properties. Okay, so just in summary, this is just a little bit about the construct of the machine that I was talking about today and the different types of water. There's 7 different types. There's Kangen water, and then there's neutral water. Like this is the water I would make baby formula with or cook with. There's beauty water, which actually is ideal for plants. The plants like their water a little bit acidic. And this is water that you can spray on your skin that will help. It sort of has like a antibacterial property to it, and can help with some of the like skin diseases that people struggle with. There's strong Kangen water that you can use to remove, like emulsify the oil-based pesticides and things on your food. And then there's acidic water that is really great for cleaning and keeping things sanitary. The 8 solid platinum plated titanium plates are what create so many of those amazing properties that we talked about today. And it's a pretty nice machine. It has a nice touch screen, speaks 8 different languages, and it's very, very easy to use. Okay, so I'm done with sharing all of that like sciencey stuff. I could also share a little bit about the studies, or we could do that in another way if you want.
Yeah, what I'd love to hear is how somebody can get their hands on the machine. How costly is it? And then what's the maintenance like on the machine?
That's so good. Okay, so what's really interesting about Enagic is that it is only the way the company created their ability, like their marketing or their ability to sell their product, is only through registered distributors. So to become a registered distributor, you have to have your own Kangen machine. That's all you have to do. You just by way of owning the machine and drinking this amazing water, you have the ability to become a distributor, and that ID then can be shared for other people to purchase product. Most people who sell the machines are going to be selling the business opportunity that comes with it because it can be very lucrative. But a lot of people will just sell the water, and it doesn't really matter whichever way you want to do it. Your distributor ID gives you the ability to do that either way. So for you to purchase a machine, you would need to know somebody that has the distributor ID that they could allow you to purchase the product through. Okay, their second question was the cost. And so the prices actually just went up in June, July, I think. And these prices are USD. So this is a global company, and they have, prices that are published for Australian Australian dollars is a huge place where they, you would see the pricing.
Okay, hold on. I missed that. Are you on mute by any chance?
Let's see.
There we go. Yes.
I don't know what that was. Do you?
They don't want us to know the price. I don't know.
That's funny. Okay, awesome. I'm glad it's fixed. So currently the price is for the K8 machine is $54.80. And so that is, interestingly enough, that is the price that, unless they change the price, that's the price you'll probably pay for a K8. I don't usually see sales for that. And so it's never like the good time to buy it. You just, when you get, when you want to purchase it is the right time to purchase it. There are some financing options for people if they want to access that. So I can explore that with somebody if they wanted to. And then for maintenance, these machines last 30 plus years, as long as you take care of it. So on the daily, I run beauty water through those titanium plates just to keep those plates free of any kind of mineral accumulation, which is like 30 seconds, 60 seconds of running beauty water. And then once a month, I do the regular cleaning process, takes about 3 hours, but all I do is just take out the filter and put it on a setting that it cleans itself. And so it's not something I have to like stand there and do. I just have to set it up, press the button, and it takes 3 hours to clean itself. I do that once a month. The only other thing that you really need to do is replace the water filter once a year. And they have sales on the filters. So you can just like stock up and then get your sale price and then have a filter ready for your annual, switch out. So that would be the answer to your maintenance question.
All right, I love it. So is there a guarantee or a warranty, just so people feel secure in purchasing one?
Yeah, I'm sure that there is, although I haven't explored it for myself. It's such an amazing, I'm also a very trusting person. And so my husband would be the one that would have shopped like the warranty. Maybe I should have brought him today. But the company has been in business for 50 years and they have like a 500-year, they have a 500-year business plan. They're growing very rapidly. They're a company that is mostly going to be growing through word of mouth, right? Because they don't really do any direct to consumer marketing. It's going to be distributor sharing and people purchasing through someone they know. And I find that really interesting that it seems to be growing so quickly. Now, as far as the entire market goes, Kangen water is only like 1% of the market as far as like water filtration systems. So there's a lot of room for growth globally. But I would say probably only 1 in 10 people in our part of the world have heard of Kangen water.
Yeah, that seems to line up. So, Sarah, I want to thank you so much for your time. And I would love it if you can drop in some of the links. I already dropped in the tap water zip code searching by EWG, the Environmental Working Group. I don't know if that's the one you were mentioning.
That was the one I was thinking of. Thank you.
Yeah. And if you can drop the link to some studies and then also how people can get in touch with you if they're interested in purchasing or have any.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great. And can I do this through the Zoom chat?
Yeah, you can go ahead and put it in the Zoom and I'll share it on Facebook. And whoever else has questions, feel free to comment and we will get back to you. So tag either myself or Dr. Sarah. And normally, just so you know, I do have these kind of educational sessions once in a while. I have them pretty regularly, as well as my podcast. I stream it into my Holistic Pharmacist Facebook group. So if you're not part of that yet, and if you're interested in learning what the holistic pharmacists talk about, if you yourself are a provider or professional that wants to learn about more holistic things, definitely join our group. But today I just thought we would stream it into my main page because it's such an important topic for everybody. So thank you again. I'll be sharing your links and I'll be reaching out to you to purchase my machine. I just have to decide when, but I think
yeah, that
you convinced me.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to get to experience the best quality of water on the earth. That's not just natural spring water. And what's interesting about this water is that was the model that the company and Magic wanted to replicate is natural spring water.
Yeah. And, right now it's very important, I think, for us to consider the sustainability of any model and taking up resources and taking it away from other countries or the people that have those spring sources in their vicinity is also not the best model, and you can watch lots of documentaries and do your research about that. And it's really, I think, important for us to take our health and our resources into our own hands. So this is something that is really a renewable resource, right? It sounds like
Yes.
is and taking and then selling it back to us with something worse than what we started with, which is the plastic. So I really, really appreciate this topic, and I'm going to share all the links. And if you have any other questions, you can reach out to Sarah or myself, or just type it into the comments. Thank you, everybody, so much for your attention. And remember to take care of yourself and take care of your drinking water.
Amen.
All right. Take care. Thank you again, Sarah. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, bye.